Welcome to the land of ancient secrets and cosmic mysteries, where New Mexico's deserts hide stories that have puzzled humans for centuries. In Chaco Canyon, great houses and roads align with the stars, revealing the astronomical knowledge of a vanished civilization. The small town of Taos echoes with a mysterious low-frequency hum that no one can explain, driving both fear and curiosity. And at Petroglyph National Monument, thousands of rock carvings tell stories of spirits, animals, and symbols whose meaning is lost to time. Join me as we uncover these hidden wonders and haunting legends. Let's explore. Chaco Canyon, the ancient city of the stars. In the high desert of northwestern New Mexico lies a place that has defied time, a place of towering stone walls, vast ceremonial plazas, and roads that stretch straight through the desert to nowhere. This is Chaco Canyon, a center of ancient power and mystery, a place where the ancestral Puebloans built one of the most extraordinary civilizations in North America. For centuries, the canyon was filled with life, knowledge, and ceremony. Its great houses rose against the horizon like castles of stone. Its people carved their culture into the land and sky, aligning their buildings with the stars and the sun, leaving behind ruins that still whisper of cosmic connections. To stand in Chaco Canyon is to feel a presence both ancient and unsettling, as if the desert itself remembers. Archaeologists call it a cultural center, but others call it something far greater, a city of the stars. A place where human beings reached for knowledge beyond this world. Chaco Canyon first came to life around 850 AD, when small villages and scattered homes grew into something unprecedented. Over the next 300 years, the people of Chaco built massive structures known today as great houses. The largest of them, Pueblo Bonito, once contained more than 600 rooms, rising 4 or 5 stories tall in places. Its walls were carefully constructed of sandstone and wooden beams, fitted with precision that seems almost modern. Surrounding Pueblo Bonito were more than a dozen other great houses: Pueblo del Arroyo, Chetro Kettle, Una Vida, and more, each arranged with purpose, each connected to the others by roads, sightlines, and sacred geometry. Together, they created a monumental city in the middle of the desert, unlike anything else on the continent. But the mystery of Chaco is not only in its size, it is in its design. Archaeologists discovered that many of the buildings were aligned with the sun and moon. Doorways and windows catch the light of the solstices and equinoxes. At the Haja Butte, a spiraling carving of the sun and moon is illuminated by a dagger of sunlight at key times of the year, a phenomenon now known as the sun dagger. The people of Chaco were not just farmers and builders, they were astronomers, mapping the heavens with stone and light. Some believe they tracked the 18.6-year lunar cycle, a feat of knowledge requiring generations of careful observation. To think of a civilization without telescopes, without written numbers, charting the movements of the cosmos with such precision is staggering. And yet, Chaco Canyon was not just about science. It was about ceremony, power, and mystery. The Great Kivas, circular, subterranean ceremonial chambers, are among the most haunting features of Chaco. The largest, the Great Kiva at Chetro Kettle, could hold hundreds of people. Imagine descending into the earth, entering a space lit only by fire, where chants echoed against stone walls and smoke curled toward the night sky. These were not just rooms, they were gateways, portals between the human and the divine. What rituals were performed there? What gods or spirits were invoked? We can only guess. The roads of Chaco add another layer of strangeness. Unlike ordinary paths, they are impossibly straight, stretching for miles across the desert, cutting through mesas and ignoring natural obstacles. Some run directly toward the horizon, where they vanish into nothing, Why would the Chacoans build such roads? Some archaeologists suggest they were for trade, linking distant outposts. Others believe they were ceremonial, processional pathways meant for spiritual journeys. But there is another theory, more unsettling, that they were meant to connect the canyon not to other villages, but to the cosmos itself. Some roads align with celestial events, pointing toward the rising or setting of stars. Could they have been earthly mirrors of a heavenly map? As if the Chacoans were trying to walk in the footsteps of the gods. As impressive as Chaco Canyon is, its story is also one of mystery and loss. Around 1150, after centuries of flourishing, the great houses were abandoned. The people left, the fires went out, and silence fell over the canyon. Why did they leave? Drought is one explanation. Tree ring studies show evidence of long, dry periods that may have ruined crops. Another possibility is social collapse. Too many people competing for too few resources, leading to conflict. Yet another theory is that Chaco had always been more of a ceremonial center than a city of daily life, a place where people gathered for rituals and then departed. Whatever the reason, the canyon's inhabitants scattered to other regions, and Chaco became a ghost city. But the mystery does not end with their departure. What exactly was Chaco Canyon meant to be? Archaeologists agree it was a center of trade, ceremony, and astronomy. But some believe it was something much more profound, a spiritual machine, a place built to connect humans with the universe. The alignments, the symbolism, the sheer scale suggest an obsession with the cosmos. Was Chaco a kind of ancient observatory, not just for tracking time, but for communing with celestial powers? Some fringe theorists go further, suggesting that the people of Chaco had contact with beings beyond Earth, that the star alignments and carvings were messages to or from the sky. The Star People stories, whispered in some indigenous traditions, only fuel this speculation. And then there are the petroglyphs. All across the canyon's cliffs are carvings, spirals, animals, figures, symbols. Some are clear, hunters, deer, snakes. Others are abstract, baffling even to archaeologists. A famous carving near Fajaja Butte may depict a supernova seen in 1054 AD, its rays shining above a crescent moon and a star. If true, it would mean the Chacoans not only observed, but recorded one of the most significant astronomical events in history. Other carvings show figures with unusual, almost alien features, large heads, elongated bodies that fuel theories of otherworldly encounters. While most scholars interpret these as symbolic or spiritual figures, the resemblance to extraterrestrial imagery has sparked endless debate. The spiritual weight of Chaco Canyon is undeniable. Even today, indigenous peoples such as the Hopi, Zuni, and Navajo regard the canyon as sacred. To them, it is not just an ancient ruin, but a living place imbued with power and memory. Many ceremonies still connect to Chaco, and some knowledge is carefully guarded, not meant for outsiders. When visitors walk the canyon today, they often report strange feelings, an overwhelming sense of being watched, of being dwarfed not only by stone walls, but by unseen presences. Some describe hearing whispers in the wind or feeling sudden chills under the blazing sun. Photographs taken in the ruins sometimes reveal orbs of light or shadowy shapes that were not visible to the eye. Skeptics dismiss these as tricks of light, but for many, they only deepen the sense that Chaco is alive in ways we cannot explain. Pueblo Bonito, the crown jewel of Chaco, carries its own share of unease. Its D-shaped design is unique, and the way its rooms and plazas are arranged seems too precise to be random. Excavations revealed hundreds of burials, including high-status individuals interred with turquoise, shells, and other precious items. Some researchers suggest that Pueblo Bonito may have been the seat of an elite dynasty, a ruling family that controlled Chaco for centuries. But why was such power concentrated here, in this canyon? And what rituals sustained it? Some bones show evidence of violence, perhaps sacrifices. Others are marked by malnutrition, hinting at inequality between elites and commoners. Pueblo Bonito is both a masterpiece and a mausoleum, a place of grandeur and death. Another mystery is the timber. Many beams in Chaco's great houses came from trees more than 50 miles away. Imagine carrying massive logs through desert and canyon without wheels or pack animals. Why go to such lengths? Was it simply resource scarcity? Or did the people of Chaco choose specific trees from sacred mountains, believing they held spiritual power? The effort suggests meaning beyond practicality. To the builders, every stone and beam may have carried ritual weight, woven into a grand design we still cannot fully grasp. Standing in Chaco Canyon today, it is easy to feel the layers of time pressing in. The silence is immense, broken only by the wind. The walls rise from the desert floor like bones of a giant creature, ancient yet enduring. You feel the alignment of the buildings, the geometry that ties them to the sky, and you cannot help but wonder, did the people of Chaco know something we have forgotten? Were they mapping the heavens for survival, or for something more, something spiritual, something cosmic? The mystery of Chaco Canyon is not just about the past. It is about the questions it leaves us. Why did the people build such monumental structures in such an unforgiving place? Why were their lives so tied to the cycles of the sun and moon? Why did they leave, and what became of them? Each theory, drought, collapse, migration, explains part of the puzzle, but not the whole. Perhaps Chaco was never meant to be fully understood. Perhaps its builders created it as a bridge between worlds, and in its ruins, that bridge still stands. What we do know is this: Chaco Canyon was one of the greatest achievements of ancient America. Its builders were engineers, astronomers, artists, and dreamers. They shaped stone and space into something that still commands awe 1,000 years later. They looked to the stars and brought their knowledge down to earth, embedding it into walls and roads that still whisper of cosmic order. And they left behind a mystery so profound that even after decades of study, it refuses to yield its secrets. When you walk among the ruins of Chaco, you feel small, as if standing not only in the shadow of stone, but in the shadow of the universe itself. The canyon holds silence like a sacred vessel, and in that silence, you hear the echoes of chants, the beating of drums, the footsteps of people who reached for the stars. Chaco Canyon is more than an archaeological site. It is a testament to human ambition and to the mysteries that endure when ambition meets the infinite sky. It is said that some places on Earth are thin places where the veil between worlds is fragile. Chaco Canyon may be one of those places. Its walls align with the sun, its roads point to the stars, and its silence holds the presence of spirits. Whether you see it as a masterpiece of engineering, a cosmic observatory, or a city of the gods, Chaco Canyon is a mystery that cannot be denied. It stands in the desert, eternal, waiting for us to keep asking the questions it has held for 1,000 years. Taos Hum, the mysterious sound of the desert. In the quiet town of Taos, New Mexico, a mystery has persisted for decades, a sound that has confounded scientists, puzzled locals, and unsettled visitors alike. It is a low, constant hum, a vibration felt more than heard that seems to emanate from the earth itself. People describe it as a faint rumble, a distant engine idling, or a subtle tone that vibrates in their skulls. Some hear it day and night, while others do not hear it at all, making it one of the most puzzling auditory phenomena in the world. Those who are affected often report headaches, sleepless nights, and even anxiety, while skeptics dismiss it as imagination or coincidence. Yet the hum persists, invisible, elusive, and haunting. The first reports of the Taos Hum appeared in the 1990s, though locals claim they have heard it for decades before it gained attention. Scientists were drawn to Taos to investigate. Audio equipment was set up. Specialists listened for measurable frequencies, geologists studied the terrain, and doctors examined residents. But no single source has ever been identified. The hum does not appear consistently on recording devices, and even the most sensitive equipment sometimes fails to detect it. It seems to exist only for those who hear it, a phenomenon that blurs the line between reality and perception. Various theories have been proposed to explain the hum. Some scientists suggest it may be the result of very low-frequency sound waves below the threshold of normal hearing, generated by distant industrial activity, geothermal energy, or even the movement of tectonic plates. Others consider it a psychological or neurological effect, a manifestation of stress or heightened sensitivity to vibrations. But none of these explanations account for why only certain people can hear the hum, while others in the same area cannot. The mystery grows deeper with every study, leaving more questions than answers. For the residents of Taos, the hum has become a part of life. Some have learned to live with it, describing it as a background vibration that they ignore or even adapt to. Others are tormented, unable to sleep or concentrate, their lives altered by a sound that seems to have no origin. Local folklore has woven the hum into stories of spirits and ancient energies. Some say it is the voice of the land itself, a reminder of the desert's power and age. Others claim it is the echo of ancient rituals performed by indigenous peoples who once inhabited the region, a sound trapped in the rocks and soil. Anthropologists note that Taos has long been a place of spiritual significance. The Taos Pueblo, inhabited for over 1,000 years, sits just outside the town. Its people speak of the land as alive, a place where the natural and spiritual worlds are intertwined. Could the hum be a manifestation of this connection, a vibration that only sensitive ears or those attuned to the land can perceive? Some theorists even speculate about the presence of underground chambers or caverns that amplify natural frequencies, creating a sound that reaches the surface selectively. The hum has also attracted paranormal speculation. UFO enthusiasts, mystics, and fringe researchers suggest that the sound may be linked to otherworldly phenomena. Perhaps it is a warning, a beacon, or even a byproduct of unknown technology. Stories circulate of people who felt the hum before witnessing strange lights in the sky, or who felt a sudden calm or vertigo during particularly strong episodes. These accounts are anecdotal, but the consistency and persistence of the hum make it difficult to dismiss outright. The phenomenon challenges our understanding of perception, reality, and the limits of human experience. Medical studies have attempted to find a physiological basis for the hum. Some researchers examined auditory nerves, the inner ear, and brain wave activity. Others considered tinnitus, a condition in which people perceive ringing or buzzing without external sound. While there are similarities, the Taos hum differs in critical ways. It can be felt physically, sometimes causes vibration in objects, and is often described as a pure tone rather than a high-pitched ringing. It defies conventional explanation and continues to baffle scientists decades after it first gained attention. The pattern of the hum is irregular and unpredictable. Some residents report hearing it constantly, while others hear it only at specific times of day or under certain weather conditions. It has been reported as louder indoors than outdoors, stronger on hilltops, and sometimes absent in the same location a few days later. This inconsistency adds to the mystery and frustrates attempts at scientific measurement. Instruments often record silence, where humans insist a hum exists, as if the sound is aware of observation or exists only within perception. Local stories add layers to the enigma. Some describe a vibration that causes objects to shake slightly, glasses to rattle, and even animals to react with unease. Pets may bark, cats hiss, or birds flee, suggesting a frequency beyond human hearing. Some longtime residents claim that the hum can affect mood, inducing unease, irritability, or inexplicable sadness. Others describe a feeling of awe or connection, a sense that they are hearing something ancient, something beyond comprehension. These experiences blur the line between science and spirituality, leaving the hum both a physical and psychological mystery. Geological studies reveal that the Taos region is unique. Beneath the surface are fault lines, underground water channels, and deposits of volcanic rock. Some theorists suggest that these geological features may amplify natural vibrations or create resonance effects that produce the hum. Others note the prevalence of wind through narrow valleys and canyons, producing sounds that travel in strange, selective ways. While these explanations are plausible, none fully account for the selective nature of the hum, nor its persistence over decades. The phenomenon has inspired art, music, and literature. Poets and musicians have tried to capture the hum's essence, describing it as a song of the earth, a cosmic rhythm, or the echo of history itself. Writers have woven the hum into stories of mystery, suspense, and paranormal intrigue. Its elusive nature makes it a perfect canvas for imagination, a sound that invites speculation and exploration while resisting all attempts at full understanding. Visitors to Taos often come hoping to experience the hum firsthand. Some report hearing nothing at all, while others are convinced they hear the vibration as soon as they step into the desert. Stories vary. A deep, low hum that shakes the chest, a subtle ringing in the skull, or a feeling that the air itself is alive with sound. The hum becomes a personal experience, subjective and unique, shaped by perception, expectation, and perhaps even belief. Despite decades of research, the hum remains one of the world's greatest acoustic mysteries. Scientists continue to visit Taos, conducting field studies, deploying sensitive microphones, and consulting with geologists, engineers, and medical specialists. Each study adds fragments of knowledge, possible explanations, correlations, and patterns, but never the full answer. The hum resists definition, a puzzle that cannot be solved by equations alone, a phenomenon that challenges the boundaries of science itself. For some, the hum is terrifying. For others, it is mesmerizing. It is a reminder that the world is larger and stranger than we often realize, that there are forces, sounds, and phenomena that exist beyond ordinary perception. It is both ancient and modern, mysterious and mundane, a vibration that transcends time and space. Whether it originates from the earth, the mind, or something else entirely, it remains a defining feature of Taos, shaping the town, its people, and all who visit. Some researchers suggest that there may be other hums around the world. Similar low-frequency noises reported in places like Bristol in the UK, Windsor in Canada, and Kokomo in Indiana. Yet the Taos hum is unique in its persistence, intensity, and the cultural mythology that surrounds it. It is not simply a sound, it is a phenomenon, a bridge between science, folklore, and human perception. Stories continue to circulate of people traveling to Taos specifically to hear the hum, to experience the phenomenon that has confounded experts for decades. Some stay for days, hoping to catch it at the right moment, to feel its vibration in their bones. Others leave with no proof, but with a sense of wonder, a recognition that some mysteries are meant to remain unexplained, at least for now. The hum also raises philosophical questions. What is real if only some can perceive it? Is the hum a physical phenomenon, a neurological response, or a manifestation of consciousness itself? How much of what we experience is filtered by our senses, and how much exists independently, waiting to be discovered? The Taos Hum forces us to confront the limits of human understanding, to accept that some mysteries cannot be fully explained with current knowledge. In Taos, the hum is part of the landscape, as inseparable from the town as the Sangre de Cristo Mountains or the Rio Grande. It shapes the culture, the stories, and the way residents understand their home. To outsiders, it may be an oddity, a curiosity, but to those who live with it daily, it is a profound presence. A reminder of the invisible threads that connect us to the earth and to forces beyond comprehension. Whether a natural vibration, a neurological phenomenon, or a mysterious echo of the past, the Taos Hum endures. It persists through decades, through skeptics and believers, through scientific investigation and local folklore. It is a sound without a source, a vibration without explanation, a reminder that the world still holds secrets that defy understanding. Visitors to Taos often leave with more questions than answers. Some are inspired, some are unsettled, and some are forever haunted by the sound. The hum may fade when they leave, or it may stay in their memory, vibrating in their thoughts long after they return to their ordinary lives. It is a mystery that defies resolution, a sound that belongs not just to the town, but to the human imagination. Taos remains alive with this enigmatic hum, a town where the invisible becomes tangible, where the unseen vibrates in the ears and bones of those sensitive enough to perceive it. It is a phenomenon that challenges science, inspires folklore, and captures the imagination of anyone who dares to listen. The hum is real to those who hear it, a sound that belongs to the desert, the rocks, the mountains, and perhaps to something beyond. The Taos Hum is more than a sound. It is a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that even in the modern world, there are mysteries that endure. It is a vibration that cannot be captured fully by instruments, a phenomenon that cannot be explained fully by science, and an experience that cannot be described fully by words. And perhaps that is its greatest secret. It is a mystery meant to be experienced, not solved. Petroglyph National Monument, the ancient carvings of the desert, in the high deserts and volcanic landscapes surrounding Albuquerque, New Mexico, lies a place where the past speaks through stone, where the walls themselves whisper stories that have survived centuries of wind, sun, and human activity. This is Petroglyph National Monument, a vast collection of volcanic rock cliffs and mesas adorned with tens of thousands of mysterious carvings. Each carving, etched deep into basalt by ancient hands, is a portal to a world that existed long before modern civilization, a world filled with ritual, symbolism, and questions that continue to baffle archaeologists, historians, and visitors alike. Here, in the quiet desert, the voices of the past are etched in black stone, and the land itself becomes a canvas for human imagination, spirituality, and cosmic understanding. The petroglyphs of this region were created primarily by the ancestors of the Pueblo peoples, as well as the early inhabitants of the Rio Grande Valley. Scholars date many of the carvings to between 1300 and 1600 AD, though some may be older. The carvings are found on the volcanic rocks of the West Mesa, a stark, rugged landscape of dark basalt boulders and cliffs. These rocks, hardened from ancient lava flows, provided the perfect surface for enduring inscriptions. Using stone tools, chisels, and sharp rocks, these early peoples pecked, carved, and scratched images into the stone, leaving behind messages that have survived the centuries with remarkable clarity. The sheer scale of Petroglyph National Monument is staggering. Over 24,000 images are known, scattered across more than 7,000 acres. They depict a wide range of subjects: animals such as deer, birds, and snakes, human figures performing rituals or hunting, abstract geometric shapes and spirals, symbols whose meaning remains undeciphered. Some figures are so large and detailed that it is clear the carvers spent months or even years perfecting their work. Others are tiny and subtle, almost hidden, demanding that the viewer look closely, as if the carvings themselves are challenging us to see them fully. One of the most fascinating aspects of the petroglyphs is their symbolic complexity. Spirals, concentric circles, and zigzag lines are repeated throughout the monument. Some researchers believe these shapes represent water, wind, or natural phenomena. Others suggest they are maps or star charts, a way of recording astronomical observations. There is evidence that the Pueblo peoples were highly attuned to the sun, moon, and stars, and some of the carvings align with solstices or lunar cycles. Could these petroglyphs have served both a practical and spiritual purpose? A combination of art, ritual, and scientific observation? The human figures in the petroglyphs are equally mysterious. Some are stylized, with oversized heads, elongated limbs, or multiple arms. Others appear in ritualistic poses, sometimes holding objects or accompanied by animals. Scholars debate whether these represent shamans, deities, or ordinary people engaged in ceremonies. The presence of humanoid figures with unusual shapes has fueled speculation, including theories of contact with beings from beyond Earth. While mainstream archaeology does not support these ideas, the resemblance of some figures to extraterrestrial forms has inspired curiosity and debate for decades. Animals are a common theme throughout the monument. Deer, lizards, birds, and snakes appear repeatedly, sometimes alone, sometimes in scenes with humans. Some depictions may represent hunting practices, seasonal migration, or symbolic meanings attached to each creature. Snakes, for instance, are often associated with water, fertility, and renewal in Pueblo cosmology, while birds may symbolize messages from the spirit world. The choice of animals, their placement, and their interaction with human figures suggest a society deeply connected to nature and the cycles of life. Petroglyph National Monument is not merely a collection of isolated carvings. The placement of images across the landscape hints at a larger plan or purpose. Certain clusters of petroglyphs appear near water sources, along trails, or at entrances to caves and alcoves. Some are positioned to catch sunlight at particular times of the year, casting shadows that enhance their forms. It is as if the ancient artists were creating a network of sacred spaces where each image interacts with the land, the sky, and the viewer. The monument becomes not just a repository of art, but a spiritual landscape, a place designed to guide, teach, and inspire. The spiritual significance of the petroglyphs cannot be overstated. The Pueblo peoples, whose ancestors created many of these carvings, still live in the region and consider the site sacred. Oral traditions describe the petroglyphs as messages from ancestors, spiritual guides, or deities. Some are thought to mark ceremonial pathways, ritual sites, or places of pilgrimage. Visitors are often warned to treat the petroglyphs with respect, to tread lightly, and to understand that these carvings are not simply historical artifacts. They are living symbols of culture, memory, and belief. Despite their permanence, The petroglyphs are fragile. Weathering, erosion, and human activity threaten the images. Modern efforts to preserve the site include controlled access, education, and legal protection. Yet even as archaeologists and park rangers work to protect the monument, the desert itself continues to shape the carvings. Volcanic rock expands and contracts with temperature changes. Wind carries sand that scours the surface, and occasional rainfall etches new patterns into the stone. The petroglyphs exist in a dynamic relationship with the environment, reminding us that even ancient creations are part of a living, changing world. The meanings of many petroglyphs remain undeciphered. Scholars use ethnography, archaeology, and comparison with modern Pueblo traditions to interpret the symbols, but many remain enigmatic. Spirals, concentric circles, and geometric patterns may represent water, migration, or cosmic phenomena, but certainty eludes us. Some carvings appear almost abstract, inviting personal interpretation. This ambiguity adds to the allure of the monument. It is a place that encourages curiosity, reflection, and wonder. A place where every observer becomes part of the ongoing dialogue between past and present. Stories of the monument's mystical power persist. Visitors often report strange feelings when walking among the carvings. A sense of being watched, sudden chills, or an inexplicable awe. Some claim to hear whispers in the wind or see shapes moving in the corner of their vision. Indigenous guides sometimes speak of the land as alive, resonating with the energy of ancestors who left their marks on the stones. For many, these experiences are not supernatural in a fantastical sense, but a profound recognition of history, memory, and human presence stretching back over 1,000 years. Petroglyph National Monument is also a place of ongoing research. Archaeologists study the carvings for clues about settlement patterns, social structures, and cultural practices. Some petroglyphs show evidence of modification over time, suggesting that they were revisited, recarved, or expanded by successive generations. This continuity demonstrates a living tradition, a cultural memory encoded in stone. The monument is not a static relic. It is a record of human creativity, resilience, and adaptation, reflecting both daily life and spiritual belief. Beyond the immediate area, Petroglyph National Monument connects to a larger network of ancient sites across the Southwest. Roads, trails, and ceremonial sites link the monument to other settlements, cliff dwellings, and sacred spaces. Some carvings may have served as waypoints, guiding travelers or pilgrims across the desert. Others may have marked territorial boundaries, hunting grounds, or ritual zones. The monument is a node in a web of human activity that stretches across centuries, connecting people, land, and sky in ways that are only beginning to be understood. Many carvings depict celestial symbols. The sun, moon, stars, and other astronomical patterns appear repeatedly, suggesting an awareness of cosmic cycles. Some spirals and concentric circles may represent solar events, while other abstract forms could correspond to lunar or planetary positions. This cosmic dimension reinforces the idea that the petroglyphs were not merely artistic expressions, but tools for understanding the universe, marking sacred times, or connecting humans with forces beyond the earth. Visitors to the monument often describe a sense of timelessness. Walking along the basalt cliffs, touching the pecked figures, one is struck by the continuity of human presence. The same cliffs that supported ancient artists now support modern hikers, families, and scholars. The carvings serve as a bridge between past and present, a reminder that even as centuries pass, human curiosity, creativity, and spirituality remain constant. The desert may seem empty, but the petroglyphs prove that it has been a space of life, meaning, and mystery for thousands of years. Local legend adds an additional layer of intrigue. Some stories suggest that certain carvings are portals or markers for hidden treasures, sacred objects, or underground passages. Others claim that the symbols encode secret knowledge, instructions for rituals, or messages from ancestors meant to guide future generations. While there's no archaeological evidence for hidden treasure, the stories endure, demonstrating the magnetism of the site and the human desire to find meaning, magic, and connection in the patterns left by our predecessors. The monument's names also carry significance. While modern visitors call it Petroglyph National Monument, the land is traditionally associated with the Pueblo peoples and their languages. Terms and place names reflect ancient cosmology, spiritual significance, and cultural heritage. The act of naming, like the act of carving, is a way of claiming presence, understanding the world, and communicating across generations. Each image and each name contributes to a rich tapestry of meaning that scholars and visitors continue to unravel. Even today, new discoveries are made. Archaeologists occasionally uncover previously unknown carvings, new clusters of symbols hidden behind boulders or under layers of volcanic ash. Each discovery raises new questions. Who made this carving? When? Why here? What does it mean? The monument continues to reveal itself slowly, like a conversation across time, reminding us that history is not static and that mysteries endure, waiting for attentive eyes and open minds. Petroglyph National Monument is more than stone on a mesa. It is a testament to human imagination, devotion, and ingenuity. It is a record of life, ritual, and spirituality, carved into a landscape that is as dramatic and enduring as the stories themselves. From the simplest geometric shape to the most elaborate anthropomorphic figure, each petroglyph is a message from the past, a story etched in stone that challenges us to listen, observe, and reflect. Standing in the monument today, it is easy to feel the weight of history. One imagines the hands of ancient carvers working patiently in the sun, their thoughts and prayers imbued in each stroke. One imagines travelers and pilgrims moving along trails, stopping to contemplate the carvings, perhaps understanding meanings we can only guess at. One imagines ceremonies, rituals, and connections to the cosmos, to the land, and to ancestors long gone. The monument is alive with human experience, frozen yet dynamic, silent yet speaking across centuries. The mysteries of Petroglyph National Monument are enduring. We may never know the full significance of each spiral, figure, or symbol. We may never fully understand the thoughts, dreams, or spiritual practices of the ancient carvers. Yet the power of the site lies not only in answers, but in questions. Questions that inspire wonder, curiosity, and humility. The monument reminds us that some mysteries are not puzzles to be solved, but experiences to be felt, studied, and respected. Visitors often leave the monument changed. They carry with them the memory of black volcanic stone etched with human thought, the sense of continuity, and the realization that history is alive. The carvings are not just art. They are connections, messages, and expressions of a humanity that spans centuries. They invite us to see the world as those who came before saw it, to ponder the mysteries they valued, and to recognize our own place in the continuum of time. Petroglyph National Monument remains one of the Southwest's most profound enigmas. It challenges scientists, inspires artists, captivates tourists, and humbles all who stand before it. In every carved line, in every spiral and figure, there is a story, a mystery, a whisper from the past that refuses to be silenced. The monument is eternal, like the desert itself, and as long as people walk its trails, the carvings will continue to speak, inviting us to wonder, question, and explore.